What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. And we're going to be taking time today to talk about kind of a issue that comes up for a lot of new traders and people new to crypto. And this is kind of what this webinar workshop is for. We're going to be talking about the mistakes that traders get wrong. And in a market like this where we're seeing crazy numbers, I'm going to talk about kind of what's going on as I want to present my screen right now. So let's pull it up right here and we'll get down into it. Apologies for the green screen in the background. It is kind of a little bit fuzzy as we have some lighting issues, but we'll talk about kind of what we have going on and I will get right down into it. So thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button and join us. And we're going to be getting into the top mistakes and things that I will share with my own personal experiences from previous cycles and the things that traders get wrong, okay? Because I do talk with people time and time again that maybe are new to the space or they have not been kind of around for a past cycle. And there's a lot of things that can go wrong. And unfortunately, a lot of them are out of our control. So let's talk about it. And for those of you that are new to the channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and please join us. All right, but let's get into the top mistakes that traders do get wrong. And I do want to share with you guys as we get going some things. We're going to talk about some exchanges as well. So let's hit it, okay? The first thing I want to get into kind of is the issue right now is what we're getting into within this market, okay? And I'm going to show you guys the charts and what's going on because as we scroll down, you can see Bitcoin is trading at 118,000, okay? I can tell you clear as day, and this is the gospel when it comes to this. When I first started trading crypto, I don't even want to tell you what Bitcoin is trading at, and I won't do it because there's a lot of regret. So I think that regret does play a role, but this is something where we want to get into this conversation. I will start with my number one thing that people do get wrong. As we go along, feel free to drop them in a chat. If there's anything that you guys want to add, if there's any kind of notes or things worth talking about, let's get those comments going, and I will be sure to kind of highlight what you guys have to say, and we'll kind of touch upon any comments, like I said. So thanks for tuning in. I was trying to wait for a lot of people to stop by. We do have a couple people in the house, so let's get it going. All right. Now, the one thing I will think, I think that does make the most sense, especially if you are new or if you are pretty heavily invested in crypto, okay? That's going to be emotional trading. I think that's a huge thing, right? And we're talking emotions, we're talking greed, we're talking FOMO, we're talking FUD, panic selling, stuff like that, making decisions that aren't good for you. They're good for the other people that are in the market, okay? I think that's something where, I've personally fell victim to a lot of times, right? Let's say you need money for some home repair. You want to get into something different, right? A lot of people do make those mistakes as, they look for, and I want to say kind of just instant gratification, some relief. I just think that quite frankly, it's not necessarily the best place for emotions within the world of cryptocurrency. Okay. And I think that's something where you might get a little bit desperate. You might ape into things. You might put a little bit more so, get over leveraged. There's a lot of things that can happen, okay? But I think the mistakes that I've made has been selling, not because it was the right or wrong time, but it was for all of the wrong reasons. So the way that I'm going to kind of tie this into what I do is the money and funds and capital that I do deploy into crypto, that's basically for crypto, okay? That's the number one thing that I will tell you. Don't look at it as a bank account. Some people do. Some people, you're entitled to do whatever you want to do. It's not financial advice. But I will tell you from my personal experiences, it's simply better results if you cross off that capital as part of what you actually have access to, okay? So I kind of just devote that all in a different chapter of my life and close the book and don't use it for anything but crypto, okay? Because stuff happens, all right? And there's a lot of regret that does come in with emotional trading. I can tell you that first and foremost, right? For example, you need a new washing machine, new roof, a new car, that's crypto capital, okay? I think it's separate, anything tangible. And I can tell you guys the thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars that I have sold off mistakenly the first go around where I would do anything to kind of have left that in the crypto as we look down the barrel of basically the last 10 years of trading, okay? The next thing I'm going to talk about is just kind of along those lines, it's not having a strategy. Okay, so that's kind of step two in this discussion that we are going to talk about. If you don't have a strategy, there's a couple things that I want to share with you guys. Number one is kind of when to get in, all right, when to get out, and kind of how to not so much panic, but when to cut losses. Okay, this is something where you just don't want to enter a trade blindfolded, right? So whether it's a meme coin, a blue chip, or just kind of a tip your buddy gave you that he got into or she got into for that matter, or it's just a hunch. There could be a numerous amount of reasons why you would start a crypto trade. Could be a pre-sale, could be, something very speculative, could be just something, hey, I want to put, X amount in from traditional finance over into the world of crypto. I've never got into crypto. There's plenty of reasons why that you could have a reason to do so. Okay. But do not do anything without having a strategy. Okay. It's just basically, you don't want to get behind the wheel blindfolded. And I think that's something where you look into having a reason for everything. And if it is a hunch, then you own the hunch and that you own the trade. Okay. And that's probably the advice that I will give you is own the trade. No one's perfect. I've been wrong. I take all the necessary steps. I use trading indicators. I use premium services. I use a lot of resources. I definitely use people on YouTube, just to be honest with you. Okay. There's a lot of people out there in the space that I do respect and their opinions very well. And that's kind of why you need to have a strategy. Okay. Without a strategy, like I said, you're basically going into this blindfolded. Okay. And for all you leverage traders out there, or people that maybe just don't have a lot of capital and they want to get rich quick, that would lead me to my next kind of big mistake that traders make. They over leverage themselves. Okay. I personally know a lot of people looking to get out of the rat race, right? End their 9 to 5. They're looking for a way out of normal life and they want to become, a crypto bro. They want to become rich. They want to be a millionaire. Okay. Over leveraging, sure, there are people that do hit home and they do make it, but nothing in crypto is guaranteed. Okay, we had the most bullish climate within the ecosystem that crypto traded in for a long period of time, and that's Bitcoin hit 123,000, and now look at the last week or so. You can look at some gains being erased. Who knows when that'll stop? Right? I know the numbers. I know what to believe in. I trust it. I trust my analytics and all the metrics that I do follow personally, but stuff happens. Okay, we could have some form of conflict or something politically happen in some form or fashion or across the world, across the globe, and you just really can't control that. It's out of your control. So if you're over leveraged and you need that money and you kind of need to make moves within the space, that's something where you could just end up kind of getting stung a little bit, right? It's happened to me personally a few times where I just felt very high conviction and got into a play that, not that I shouldn't have, but I put way too much, and just that adds to the nerves, adds to the anxiety, right? So tying in all these together, you're going to notice how this does have a common trend. Don't over leverage yourself. Don't not have an exit strategy, and do not be emotional. So they all kind of play in each other, and it's funny how they're all connected. Okay, so that's kind of where I'm at. I just basically think that within the leverage game too, it's something where it's easy. Go 50 to 100x leverage. People do it. You can do it, but it's not necessarily the smartest thing time in, time again. Okay, and that's where you get liquidated, and you're basically back at square zero. So risk management is key. All right. And as we are going along, guys, I appreciate all of my subscribers and people tuning in. If you have not done so, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. But while we're on the topic of trading leverage, if you are not familiar with BTCC, I do want to share with you guys kind of what we have going on. It's a hot promotion, 10% bonus on your first time deposit to go alongside 40% lower trading fees. There's no VPN or KYC necessary. So if you do trade spot, you trade leverage, you're looking for a new exchange trusted by millions of users, that's kind of where you can look into BTCC, do your due diligence, and check out their terms and conditions if it's right for you. You will find a link down below in the description where you can start trading on that platform. Okay, and we'll get right back into it. I will pull back up the charts, and you kind of can see a live look as I'm talking. I will make this a little bit different so you can see kind of the charts and me talking as we go along. Okay, but the next thing is, and this is kind of get into the play-by-play, the real-time mistakes that people make. Okay, and that's chasing. Okay, it's a form of emotional trading. But I think it's something where everybody, I think, watching this has went to work. Your coworker or whatever will come up to you and say, "Hey, did you open a position on that? Are you trading this crypto? Have you heard about this crypto? Here, what's the ticker, right? Yeah, usually when you hear about it, you might be a little bit too late to the party, and then you're getting into a trade that's already up, 3 to 1,000%, and you missed that 10x. Okay, and the next thing you know, you buy in, you FOMO in, you're emotional, don't have a strategy, and next thing you know, that fad, that trend, that meme coin craze, it's already been basically expunged, and they're on to the next one. Okay. But in a more longer term play, if, for example, Bitcoin, right? A lot of people want to know when it's too late to get in, right? Nobody has that question to be answered, right? Because I think a lot of people thought Bitcoin would never hit 100,000, right? Never would hit 75,000, and now look at 120,000 roughly. It's something where you just quite frankly don't know. That's why having a strategy makes sense, right? It's not financial advice, but it's just common sense. Dollar cost averaging is the strategy that I've used throughout the years. Never lets me down, and never really kind of lets me fall on my face. It does not always work the best. It does not always work the worst, but it does give me a lot of good success, and kind of alleviates that pressure to time the tops, time the bottoms. So keep that in mind as well. All right. So that's the one that I want to share. Don't FOMO, don't chase trends. Sometimes it works out, but more times I could tell you, I could count on both my hands the times that actually did kind of end up being a winner. Okay. The next thing I want to talk about is kind of just kind of ignoring the numbers, right? People like myself, we talk on YouTube, not necessarily to, at least me, I'm not out here to cheerlead. Okay. I'm here just to tell you guys facts, what I look at on a day-to-day basis, and how it applies to cryptos that I have high conviction plays in. All right. So ignoring the kind of numbers that make sense. And when we talk that, it's not your gut. It's going to be the macro. It's going to be the fundamentals. Those are the things that do play a role. Okay. So when we have, Fed meetings, when we have economic data, when we have geopolitical conflicts, when we have things like that, that have legislative impact, that's the macro. That's the thing that does make sense. And ignoring those numbers and going on your hunch, going on your gut, that's always not going to be the best result either. So when you do talk macro, it's best to kind of deploy a zoom out mentality, have a calendar. All right. Look for catalysts that are coming, research specific dates tied into said coin or token. Those are all things that do kind of impact you, that are going to be coming down the pipe, that will give you an advantage amongst other traders. Okay. A lot of people make a mistake, as in they don't care about that stuff. They think that, hey, I'm not an economist. I could care less about what's going on across the world. We're just going to, just trade basically numbers basically on crypto that are up, crypto that are down, and just ride momentum. That's not going to be good either. Okay. Next, I kind of want to get into some comments. So as we get further along, if you guys have any mistakes that you have made, you want to share, or anything that you have questions on, feel free to blast that comment box. Also, if you are watching, get those thumbs up. If you can give me a like here on this video, it'd be much appreciated. Okay. Next, as these comments come in, we are going to talk about the quick fixes that you can do to kind of amend some of this. All right. And the one thing that I will share with you guys is kind of document what you're doing, right? I use a spreadsheet. All right. And that's something kind of funny, but I use a spreadsheet. Every trade I get into, I track that performance. I don't just look at my wallet size. I realize where I'm winning, where I'm losing, and I kind of look at it in that regard. Okay. Also, I pretty much use dollar cost averaging as my main strategy, but there are a lot of other strategies that you can use, a couple setups that you can follow from a technical standpoint. So make sure that, if you are trying not to overcomplicate things, stick to your guns, stick to what works, all right, for you, and what you're ever trying to do with your plan that you have in place. Okay. That's something that does make sense as well. All right. And I think the other couple things that I want to talk about is just you make the best trade for you. Okay. That's why it's always said, it's very much kind of overstated, but it's the truth. Do your own research, right? Don't buy a crypto because somebody told you to. Don't buy a crypto because your buddies into it. Buy a crypto that, sure, if they tell you about it, do your research. If you like it, you have conviction in it, then that's the way to go. Then that's something you can stand behind and put your mark on it. Okay, so that's kind of the other end of that argument, right? Make sure that whatever you're getting into, you own the trade. If it's high conviction, low conviction, if it's a meme coin play, own the trade, and don't let any other people kind of influence what you're going to do in that position. Okay. So that's just a few things, right? We talked about emotional trading, the FOMO, the kind of risk that you take within, over leveraging yourself and buying and trying to time the tops, time the bottoms. Those are mistakes, I think the most common mistakes people use, okay? And then from a technical component, I do think it's noteworthy to talk about a little bit as well. Mistakes people can make is just simple crypto 101, okay? So know kind of the 10 commandments of trading crypto. And if you don't know, please Google it. This is more like a 101 beginner's class to trading crypto, I guess, and what to do, what not to do. But one of the biggest mistakes that people do make that are new to crypto, they don't respect the 10 commandments of trading crypto. So that's going to be your seed phrases. It's going to be exchange stuff. It's going to be stuff like that. Things to do, things not to do. And it's unfortunate because people get taken advantage of a lot by bad actors. But I know a lot of people that get into crypto and they ask stupid questions and they ask what to do, what not to do. And unfortunately, it's very hard to explain that over and over again. So I do recommend just do a quick Google search, the 10 commandments to trading crypto. And I think that, I don't know if there's 10, but they call it the commandments. And there is a list of what you should never do basically when you trade crypto. Okay. If you're just getting into the game. All right. So just to kind of piggyback off what we talked about, right? Being over leveraged, kind of over trading, right? Sometimes people get antsy. They will make 10 trades a day on the same crypto for no reason, and they won't profit plus or minus anything. Okay. Crypto's meant to go up. It's meant to go down. Trading volume is both ways. It's double-sided. So keep that in mind as well. You don't want to kind of get in a position where you're afraid to buy, afraid to sell. It's something where we go back to having that conviction. So that does play a role as well. Okay. Also, make sure before you get into any crypto, you check out tokenomics. That is something that does play a role. If you don't want to get into an inflationary token or coin that you quite frankly could be fall kind of victim to kind of what they're doing behind the scenes from a dev standpoint, from, whether it be they print more or it's something where they can manipulate the supply and kind of make your tokens worth less. Okay. That's something where unlimited inflation unfortunately does happen with said contracts. And there's also something where you want to check out a couple websites, right? Arkham, Bubble Maps. Those are very, very helpful. Within those, that's where you can basically research any contract address, big or small, and understand kind of who holds the majority of the tokens, right? That centralized supply control, that really does play a role. Also, how tokens are locked up, who can sell. You can find that all with a very good contract audit or Bubble Maps, Arkham. There's a lot of good things out there that can help you as tools in that regard, okay? And then the last thing I kind of want to end on, and that's kind of where we talk about a lot of different things that people do get wrong when they trade. I think that a couple things that I will end on, I will give you actually three. And the first one is kind of like what we're seeing right now, right? Everybody wants a hold to the moon, right? That saying that's overused, right? Hold, hodl, if you will, right? I think that a lot of times back in 2021, probably my biggest mistake ever was trusting that the bull run would just last forever, right? New to this whole crypto thing, crypto can never go down. We're just going to go up, 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 all right? Doesn't always work out that way. So always have an exit strategy to make the best financial decision for yourself. Do not believe that the meme coin that you got into that just did a 10x is going to 10x every week till the end of time. It doesn't work that way. Okay. So having a little bit too much overconfidence, too much conviction, that's also something that's going to play a role as well. All right. As always, I'm not a financial advisor, but diversification, that's another thing. You're going to hear that time and time again, right? Don't be, and if you want to, and that's your thing, fine. I'm never going to tell you to buy or sell crypto, but that's a mistake people make as well. They're either in all AI coins or they're in all RWAs. They're all in, 100% in meme coins, right? If you're waking up every morning and your portfolio is 100% devoted to small cap meme coin plays that are just basically, I guess you'd say, long shots, that's not going to go well for your anxiety level, and it's going to be very difficult trying to keep some sanity. Okay, so diversification is a very, very big part of, I think, where people make a huge mistake in not listening to kind of when people say diversification is key. Okay. And so we talked about that. And then probably the last thing we will talk about is, just kind of that kind of whole conception that crypto is only meant to go up. Okay. It kind of ties back into hodling, what we talked about a little bit earlier, but it's just like today, right? Panic selling will ensue. People, if you have 10 green days in a row and it's followed up by a red day, for some reason, it just does not have the same proportional effect to the opposite, where if we have 10 red days in a row and then a green day, it's very easy to take one step forward and two steps back into crypto. So that's kind of what I'll leave you with to stay safe, to avoid some of those misconceptions. I will open up the floor. I know a lot of people left this live stream, but if you have any comments, feel free. Outside of that, we'll kind of just put a bow on this and end it, and we'll go from there. Any questions, concerns in the comments? Well, doesn't look like it. So I will be signing off right now. As always, if you are watching this video after the live stream, feel free to make a comment, post something. I will try to respond to you guys in a timely fashion. If you're new to this channel, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and join us. And with that, I will be signing off. And that's kind of my rundown of the top mistakes crypto traders can make. So it's important to do what's best for you, make the best decisions for yourself. Obviously, not financial advice, but I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate you guys taking some time out of your day to watch this live stream. And good luck out there. And we'll see you all in the next video. Cheers.